Well, yes, well, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Thursday, April 1st, 2021, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. Warner Bros. Is pushing back the release date of the Mortal Kombat movie by 1 week. Mortal Kombat, based on the popular video game series of the same name, will now be coming to theaters and HBO Max on April 23rd. The film was originally going to be released on April 16th. Louis Tan, Joe Taslim, Jessica McNeem, Hiroyuki Sanada, Josh Lawson, Tananupo Aso, Mekhat Brooks, Ludi Lin, Chin Han, Sis Stringer, Max Han, and Daniel Nelson star in the film, from director Simon McQuoid. Mortal Kombat will follow MMA fighter Cole Young, played by Tan, seek out Earth's champions in order to stand against the enemies of Outworld in a high-stakes battle. James Wan is serving as the producer. Jeremy Strong has signed on to play Dr. Jonas Salk, inventor of the polio vaccine, in the film Splendid Solution. Gillian Weeks is writing the screenplay based on Jeffrey Kluger's book of the same name. Weeks tweeted Tuesday, "So honored to write this movie at a time like this and for people like these. Thanks to my wonderful creative partners at 21 Labs Ent, at Sean Levy Direct, and at Braun Studios, and of course the extraordinary Jeremy Strong. The project was announced as millions of people are getting vaccinated for the coronavirus. Producer Sean Levy and Dan Levine said in a statement, "We can't think of a more timely story to tell of one man's journey to save the world from a devastating pandemic while overcoming misinformation from the media, and how he believed so much in the vaccine that he tested it on himself and his children to prove to the world that it was safe." Strong is known for his roles in Succession and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Netflix is giving a glimpse of the new film The Mitchells vs. the Machines. The streaming service shared a trailer for the animated sci-fi comedy Wednesday, featuring Abby Jacobson as the voice of Katie Mitchell, an aspiring filmmaker and recent high school graduate who was accepted into the school of her dreams. The preview shows Katie, played by Jacobson, and her family, Dad Rick, played by Danny McBride, Mom Linda, played by Maya Rudolph, and brother Aaron, played by Mike Renata, take a road trip to drop her off at school. Along the way, the family encounter a tech uprising and must take on the robot apocalypse to save the world. The film also features the voices of Eric Andre, Olivia Colman, Blake Griffin, and Fred Armisen. The Mitchells vs. the Machines is directed by Mike Renata and produced by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Lord and Miller are known for writing and directing the Lego Movie and producing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Netflix shared a teaser for the movie last week. The Mitchells vs. the Machines premiered April 30th on Netflix. Jacobson is known for creating and starring on the Comedy Central series Broad City. She voiced Princess Bean on the Netflix animated series Disenchantment. DreamWorks Animation returned with the Spirit franchise, a new trailer for Spirit Untamed, which comes to theaters on June 4th. Isabella Murray voices Lucky in the clip released on Wednesday. Lucky never knew her famous horse riding and stunt performer mother, played by Liza Gonzalez. Lucky moves back in with her father Jim, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, who lives in the same small town where Lucky's mother is from. The young girl then meets and connects with Spirit, a wild Mustang who shares her independent attitude. Lucky then enlists her friends Abigail, played by McKenna Grace, and Prue, played by Marcy Martin, to stop a horse wrangler, played by Walton Goggins, from capturing Spirit and his herd in order to auction them off. The synopsis reads, Lucky enlists her new friends and bravely embark on the adventure of a lifetime to rescue the horse who has given her freedom and a sense of purpose and has had helped Lucky discover a connection to her mother's legacy and to her Mexican heritage that she never expected. Spirit Untamed continues the Spirit series, which started with 2002 Spirit Stallion of Camarion. Ellen Borgen served as director, with Ennio Torsian as co-director. Netflix has obtained the rights to 2 sequels to the 2019 Knives Out Writer director Rian Johnson and star Daniel Craig are expected to return. The Wrap reported that Netflix paid over $400 million for the two sequels. Variety put that number at $450 million. Lionsgate distributed the first film in November 2019 after its September premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. Johnson was already working on a sequel intending to film in June, according to the Wrap. Knives Out stars Craig as Detective Benoit Blanc, as Blanc investigates the apparent suicide of author Harlan Trombi, played by Christopher Plummer. An ensemble of cast of actors became murder suspects. Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Toni Collette, Don Johnson, Catherine Langford, and Jaden Martell play Thromby's family members, each with motives. Ana de Armas plays Thromby's maid. Only Craig would reprise his role to solve a new mystery in sequels. The James Bond actor played Blanc with a southern accent. Knives Out grossed $311 million worldwide. Johnson wrote in the Los Angeles Times that he was inspired by Agatha Christie's mysteries and Alfred Hitchcock movies. Social media star Logan Paul became the latest celebrity eliminated from Season 5 of Fox's The Masked Singer on Wednesday night. Paul was wearing the Grandpa Monster costume for the show. Paul told Variety, "I can barely sing. I never performed in this way, let alone adding dancing to this. This is a nightmare, and it was at first until I crossed that hump and really started falling in love with the show." Danny Trejo, Caitlyn Jenner, and Kermit the Frog were previously eliminated from the competition series. Niecy Nash is filling in as the host since the show's usual MC, Nick Cannon, was battling the coronavirus when the episode was taped. King Jean, Jenny McCarthy, Nicole Slizinger, and Robin Thicke are back for another season as judges. Country singer Leanne Rimes was crowned the winner of Season 4 of The Masked Singer. William Peterson, Georgia Fox, and Wallace Langham have signed on to star in the police procedural CSI Vegas, CBS announced Wednesday. They will once again play Gil Grissom, Sarah Stidle, and Dave Hodges. The actors played the characters in the original CSI Crime Scenes investigation, which ran on the network from 2000 to 2015 and spawned several spin-offs. CBS is billing Vegas as a sequel series for the flagship show. Its ensemble will also include Paula Newsome, Matt Lauria, Mel Rodriguez, and Mandeep Dilhan. Producer Jerry Bruckheimer said in a statement, "I'm excited to be bringing back the CSI franchise to all of our fans who have been so loyal to us for all these years. And to be back in Las Vegas, where it all started 20 years ago, makes it even more special. We enjoy working on this project with CBS and look forward to welcoming back Billy, Georgia, and Wallace as they join a new group of talented actors in CSI Vegas." Oscar winner Colin Firth is set to star in The Staircase, an 8-episode limited series for HBO Max. Firth will play U.S. novelist Michael Peterson in the show, which is a dramatization of the true crime docuseries about the mysterious 2001 death of Peterson's wife, Kathleen Peterson. 6 of the episodes will be directed by Antonio Campos. He is also writing and executive producing the project with co-showrunner Maggie Cohen. Sarah Aubrey, the head of original content for the streaming service, said in a statement Wednesday, "It is a thrill to collaborate with Antonio Campos, Maggie Cohen, and Annapurna Televisions for the exploration of this true life story that rife with dramatic revelations. With the enormous talented Colin Firth at the center of this adaptation, the story of the Staircase will continue to captivate audiences with every bizarre twist and turn." Firth is known for his roles in Pride and Prejudice, Bridget Jones' Diary, Love Actually, and The King's Speech. Peterson's books include A Time of War, A Bitter Peace, and Charlie Two Shoes and the Marines of Love Company. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Jennifer Shaw and her assistant Stuart Smith were indicted by the Department of Justice in a nationwide telemarketing fraud scheme. According to complaints filed in New York District Court, the reality stars perpetrated a, quote, business opportunity scheme in which they sold several services such as tax preparation and web design services aimed to make the victims' businesses more efficient and profitable. Manhattan U.S. Attorney Audrey Strauss said in a Department of Justice press release, "In actual brutal reality, as in allege the so-called business opportunities pushed on the victims by Shaw, Smith, and their co-conspirators were just fraudulent schemes motivated by greed to steal victims' money. Now, these defendants face time in prison for their alleged crimes. Most of the pair's alleged victims were over 55 years old, and some do not even own computers, according to the press release. Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent in Charge Peter C. Fishhugh said in the press release, Shaw and Smith flaunted their lavish lifestyle to the public as a symbol of their success. In reality, they allegedly built their opulent lifestyle at the expense of vulnerable, often elderly working-class people. As alleged, disturbingly, Shaw and Smith objectified their very real human victims as leads to be bought and sold, offering their personal information for sales to other members of their fraud ring. Shaw and Smith allegedly earned profit shares per the terms of the fraudulent agreement. They are each charged with one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, which carries a maximum sentence of 30 years imprisonment, and conspiracy to commit money laundering, which has a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison, the U.S. Attorney's Office says. Shaw and Smith are expected to appear on Wednesday at a virtual New York court hearing. Shaw is the wife of University of Utah assistant football coach Sharif Shah. In last seasons of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Shaw was noted for her bad behavior, including an incident where she threw a glass during an argument with the castmate. Nickelodeon has pulled 2 episodes of its animated comedy series SpongeBob SquarePants. That were confirmed Wednesday to NBC News that one episode of the show will no longer air in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, while another had inappropriate content for children. The season 12 episode, Quarantine Crab, was pulled due to sensitivity surrounding the global real-world pandemic. Nickelodeon EVP of Communications David Bitter says, in Quarantine Crab, a health inspector finds a case of the clam flu in the Krusty Krab restaurant and quarantines the people inside. Those believed to have the virus are shunned and put in a freezer. News of removal follows increased anti-Asian violence in the United States. Reports of hate crimes targeting Asian Americans have surged since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, Nickelodeon confirmed to Entertainment Weekly that it pulled the Season 3 episode Midlife Crustacean in 2018. In Midlife Crustacean, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs break into a woman's house and steal her underwear during a night out. Riddle says Midlife Crustacean has been out on rotation since 2018, following a standard review in which we determined some story elements were not kid appropriate. The 2 episodes will no longer stream on Paramount Plus and Amazon Prime Video. Jack Reynor has joined the cast of the new Amazon sci-fi thriller. Variety reported Tuesday that Reynor will have a lead role in the series The Peripheral. The Peripheral is based on the William Gibson novel of the same name. The series hails from Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy's Kilter's films and is created by Scott B. Smith, according to Deadline. Reynor joins previously announced stars Chloe Grace Moretz and Gary Carl. Reynor will play Burton, a U.S. Marine Corps veteran who serves with the elite Haptic Recon Force. In the book, Burton is hired for a security job that takes place in what he thinks is cyberspace. When his sister Flynn, played by Moretz, temporarily takes his place, she witnesses something that may have been murder. Greg Plageman will serve as the showrunner and executive producer with Nolan, Joy, Smith, director Vincenzo Natali, Athena Wickham, and Steve Hobbin. Reynor is known for starring in What Richard Did and Midsummer. He most recently appeared in Cherry, a film directed by the Russo brothers, Anthony and Joe Russo. Danielle Harris and Brian Austin Green will guest star in the new episodes of The Conners Season 3. The show's official Twitter account confirmed Tuesday that Harris and Green will appear on the ABC series. The show tweeted alongside stills of Harris and Green, "We're so excited to have Brian Austin Green and Danielle Harris guest starring on The Conners this season." The Conners is a sequel and spin-off to the series Roseanne, which originally aired for 9 seasons from 1988 to 1996. Harris plays Molly Tilden, the Conners' neighbor and a high school rival to Darlene, played by Sarah Gilbert in Season 5 of Roseanne. Harris will reprise Molly in one episode of The Conners, airing April 7th. The episode will show Molly and Darlene reconnect and become close. Green will play Jeff, a quirky free-spirit traveler who lives out of his van, in 2 upcoming episodes. In addition, Candice Bergen will return as Barb, the sharp-tongued mother of Ben, played by J.R. Ferguson. She'll reprise the character in 2 new episodes. The Conners is in the midst of its 3rd season. A member of the show's technical crew died on set this month after having a fatal medical event. Scrubs alum Donald Faison announced on Instagram he has landed a role in the CW's live-action pilot for its Powerpuff Girls reboot. Faison wrote on Instagram Tuesday, I tried so hard not to flex, but I can't help it. I'm so excited. Hashtag Powerpuff Girls. His post featured a photo of him next to the animated version of his character, Professor Drake Utonium, a brilliant scientist who created the titular former child superheroines in his lab. The new show, written by Diablo Cody and Heather Regnier, was announced in August. It follows Blossom, played by Chloe Bennett, Bubbles, played by Dove Cameron, and Buttercup, played by Yana Pirouette, who are now disillusioned 20-somethings. The original animated show ran on Cartoon Networks in the 1990s and early 2000s. It was rebooted by the network, with new episodes airing from 2016 to 2019. Bob Odenkirk discussed his transformation into an action star from his latest film, Nobody, while appearing on Jimmy Kimmel Live. The actor on Tuesday mentioned how his show, Better Call Saul, is watched around the world and how that inspired him to make an action film that could also be enjoyed globally. Odenkirk says, if I could train, I could play that part. I thought I had it in me. About training to make the film and becoming an action star. Odenkirk said he trained for over 2 years. Odenkirk arrived onto the talk show pretending to look injured and needing a crutch. The 58-year-old said it was injuries from Nobody. Nobody hails from director Ilya Nashuler and writer Derek Kolstad. Connie Nielsen, Christopher Lloyd, RZA, and Michael Ironside star. Odenkirk said before stating that Lloyd only wanted to use real shotguns in the film. Chris Lloyd has never been in an action movie. He has been in so many classic films, and he's such a sweet guy. And I wasn't sure how he'd feel, but he was absolutely giddy about pretending to shoot off shotguns. Nobody was the #1 movie at the North American box office with $6.7 million. Odenkirk also discussed Better Call Saul and how filming has started on the show's 6th and final season. Odenkirk says, I don't know what's going to happen. I like being surprised. I kind of enjoy it. It's just like an audience member. He continued, I'm a producer on the show. I don't know what's happening. CBS has renewed Young Sheldon for 3 more seasons, keeping the Big Bang Theory prequel on the air through at least 2024. The sitcom debuted in 2017 and stars Ian Armitage, Zoe Perry, Lance Barber, Montana Jordan, Reagan Revord, and Annie Potts. Season 4 is set to wrap in May. Kelly Call, the president of CBS Entertainment, said in a statement, under Chuck Lorre's and Steve Millaro's deft leadership, the superb cast and gifted writers have truly brought these wonderful characters to life. Young Sheldon dominates the broadcast comedy landscape by over 2.5 million viewers, is a linchpin of CBS's top-rated Thursday comedy lineup. The humor, warmth, and heart exuded by the Cooper's family is an undeniable hook for the millions of fans who tune in each week. We're excited to see what the next 3 seasons have in store for a slightly older Sheldon and the Coopers. Set in 1980s and 90s Texas, the show is about a brilliant but socially inept titular child prodigy. Jim Parsons played the character as an adult physicist on The Big Bang Theory for 12 seasons, from 2007 to 2019. ABC has ordered season 30 of Dancing with the Stars to air this fall. No casting has been announced yet. Tyra Banks took over the hosting duties for the competition series from Tom Bergeron and Aaron Andrews for season 29, which wrapped in November. The judges were Derek Huff, Carolina Naba, and Bruno Tellini. Reality TV star Caitlin Bristow and professional dancer Artem Chikhanestev were crowned the season's winners. The BBC has announced it's working with Amy Winehouse's mother Janice on an hour-long documentary timed to the 10th anniversary of the singer-songwriter's death. Amy Winehouse was a 5-time Grammy winner who battled substance abuse for most of her adult life. She died of alcohol poisoning on July 23, 2011, at the age of 27. Janice Winehouse said in a statement, "I don't feel the world knew the true Amy, the one that I brought up, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to offer an understanding of her roots and a deeper insight into the real Amy." Marina Parker is directing Amy Winehouse 10 Years On, but no premiere date has been set yet. It is expected to include new interviews, never-be-seen photos, and footage provided by her family, and footage from the BBC archives. Max Gority and Rachel Davies from the BBC said in a joint statement, Amy Winehouse, 10 Years On, promises to be a celebratory and intimate portrayal of one of the brightest musical talents the United Kingdom has ever seen. Whilst being a celebration of her musical genius and featuring rare and unheard performances, it will also offer a reinterpretation of the prevailing narrative around her rise and fall told by those closest to her. Britney Spears has reacted to the documentary The New York Times presents Framing Britney Spears, stating that she has seen parts of it. The singer commented on the popular release on Instagram Tuesday alongside a video of herself dancing to Crazy by Aerosmith. The New York Times present Framing Britney Spears explores Spears' conservatorship. The pop star was placed under a conservatorship in 2008 led by her father, Jamie Spears. She has remained under the court-ordered guardianship since. Spears said, tagging Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler, "My life has always been very speculated, watched, and judged really my whole life. For my sanity, I need to dance at I am Steve NT every night of my life to feel wild and human and alive." She continued, "I have been exposed my whole life performing in front of people. It takes a lot of strength to trust the universe with your real vulnerability, because I've always been so judged, insulted, and embarrassed by the media. And I still am till this day." Spears then gave her opinion on the documentary, which was released in February as part of the New York Times Presents series and is available on Hulu. Spears said, "I didn't watch the documentary, but from what I did see of it, I was embarrassed by the light they put me in. I cried for 2 weeks, and well, I still cry sometimes. I do what I can in my own spirituality with myself to try and keep my own joy, love, and happiness. Every day dancing brings my joy." She concluded, "I'm not here to be perfect. Perfect is boring. I'm here to pass on kindness." Spears' attorney, Sam Ingham, recently said that he will file a petition to request the court making Jody Montgomery the permanent conservator for Spears. Finally, Gwen Stefani took the stage on Good Morning America. The 51-year-old singer performed her song Slow Clap and discussed her new music during Wednesday's episode of the ABC Morning Show. Stefani released Slow Clap this month, her first new single since Let Me Reintroduce Myself, released in December. Both songs will appear on her forthcoming fifth studio album titled Let Me Reintroduce Myself. On GMA, Stefani said she was ready to make new music after focusing on her family over the past year. Stefani is engaged to country music star Blake Shelton and has 3 sons, Kingston, Zuma, and Apollo, with her ex-husband Gavin Rossdale. The singer says, "We were in lockdown for over 100 days in Oklahoma. It was amazing to be able to pause and just to be with the kids and not really know where or when we were going to be out, in a way. But I do feel like doing the mom thing for that long consistently, I was really inspired to do some music." Stefani said she is still working on her new album, which she describes as being full of joy and hope. The star said, "Generally, I just wanted to make an album that was full of joy and clap. I think the one line in Slow Clap are you rooting for me like I'm rooting for you? I feel like that was just kind of where I was at in that moment when I wrote that song." She added, "I'm still writing. I think that's what's been really fun about this project is to be able to drop singles and actually still be working on new music that I'm doing. That's new for me, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now, just in the studio, writing and being creative." Stefani and Sheldon released the song Happy Anywhere in July for Sheldon's album Body Language. Stefani discussed her experience writing and releasing country music on Jimmy Kimmel Live this month. She says, "Some of the songwriting in country music is just masterful. And it's storytelling. It's just very familiar in a lot of ways in the sense that, like, the story is getting across. The heart is getting across and the message. And so I just learned a lot. And I'm just so happy I got to be opened up to the whole new genre. Stefani's most recent non-holiday album, This Is What the Truth Feels Like, was released in 2016. And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, April 1st, 2021. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.